Hello, everybody. My name's Waylon, but you knew that already. It's been a while. It's been a long time since I've done a solo Let's Play, and this Let's Play of Pikmin. Welcome to my Let's Play of Pikmin. By the way, I felt I should need to announce that. This has been a really long time coming. This is something I teased a long time ago. Now, this Let's Play has a bit of a storied history. Originally, this was going to be a Waylon Plus series. It was going to be Waylon plus Jabroni. But we got to like the halfway point, and we thought, yeah, this isn't really working, you know. This was Jabroni's first experience with actually playing a Pikmin game, and he wasn't really vibing with it, as opposed to Pikmin 2, which we're like 22 episodes into at this point. He really likes that. We felt Pikmin 2 would be a much better experience to play together, whereas Pikmin 1, it's more of a solo game. So, after we recorded a whole bunch of Pikmin 2 episodes, sorry about that, by the way, in case you guys have been really wanting for more Pikmin 2 content, but we haven't been giving it. It's really hot where we live, and for other much more obvious real-world reasons, we haven't really had the time to get together and play a game. We did play a lot. Reopen that menu. We did play 3 hours worth of Super Smash Bros. Brawl, the Subspace Emissary. We're just, you know, we both worked full-time jobs and we're going to college, so we don't really have the time to edit like we did in the summer. And even then, summer, you know, it was really hot. We didn't want to, you know, get together, sit at a computer, edit stuff all the time. You know, the files were so big, only he could have them. Normally what we would do is we would record at his place together, and then I'd take the files with me, and then I'd edit them and upload them here. But because it was so big, we couldn't do that. So, you know, we both work full-time jobs, we both go to school, and we quite literally we just didn't have the time to, you know, be editing and uploading stuff and getting together and recording stuff. But you know, hoping that's changing. So yeah, long story short, Pikmin 1 started off as a Waylon Plus series before I decided it would be a solo Let's Play. So that's what I did. I recorded a solo Let's Play of this game, and I got to the halfway point. And when I went to go actually edit all of my footage, suddenly the footage for part 1 just didn't exist anymore. The audio existed, but not the footage. Even though when I would look it up in my computer files, it would exist, but it just couldn't get open no matter what. I looked in my garbage can, I looked through every single folder, every single crease, every file on my computer, it just didn't exist. So I decided, man, that was like 2 days worth of work just wasted. I don't want to do it again. And this is something I brought up in Pikmin 2 when I was playing with Jabroni. I don't remember what episode it was, but I know I mentioned it, and then I didn't want to start over. But here we are, 3 months later, and I figured I'll start it up again. Right as I'm going back to college. So yeah, this is the most opportune time to start a Let's Play. I'll have all the time in the world. But with all that being said, let's actually start the game. If you skip this far just to start the game, I don't blame you. A lot of corny explanations and excuses as to why this didn't get out sooner. I have been doing a little playing on the side just to refresh myself with these games' mechanics. As you can see, I've gotten up to day 7, 13 out of 30 ship parts. I do have a completed file here. This is from a long time. This completed file was for the original Let's Play from like 5 months ago, before I realized all the footage was gone, so I couldn't do it, and I just didn't have the heart to erase it. But anyway, no, don't go back. I wanted to erase that. Oops. Oh, you might notice the title screen looks different. I am using... man, I had his name memorized. I want to say I'm using the HD texture pack by Henrico Magnifico. I terribly apologize if I butcher that name. Spanish is not my first language, obviously. So yeah, we're going to be erasing this file, going to be starting over. God, I love the effects and the music from these save files, man. Pikmin 3 Deluxe, totally lacking in this touch and feel, in the atmosphere, you know? I said it in my quick look episode on Pikmin 3, but man, that game is really lacking personality. Everything is too sterile, too clean. It has, you know, it just has a bunch of generic sci-fi effects, feels like an Apple product. These are all things I went over. But yeah, Pikmin 1 and 2, they just have this, man, I don't know how to describe it, you know? Harshness to it, these imperfections. I like the stars, I like the cute bubbles, I like the music, it's awesome. But anyway, let's find, oh yeah, I mentioned the texture pack. I'm using a texture pack for this game. All the textures have been bumped to HD, even 4K resolutions. Some of them, I'll admit, they're a little crusty. The Mamuda texture, it's a little crusty. But I don't remember the last time I even encountered a Mamuda. I think the HD texture pack for Pikmin 2 that I used to play with, which is not the footage you see in Waylon Plus, but on my own. Anyway, I think the texture pack for Pikmin 2 is better than this game, because it feels more, what's the word? It feels more, not on par, in line, maybe the word I'm looking for, but anyway, it feels more traditional. Faithful, that's the word. It feels more faithful to those games' textures. The HD textures in this pack, I feel like they've been made from the ground up. I could be wrong. But yeah, they're a little crusty, but I think it's my preferred way to play, because the original game's visuals are kind of crusty. Anyway, cutscene time. I'll be quiet. You'll never be able to unsee this. Olimar's antenna is sticking out of the cockpit. Man, you just don't get music like that in Pikmin 3, you know what I mean? Anyway, welcome to the impact site. You can see right away the new textures. Olimar, you look like you've seen better days, my friend. But anyway, this game is so wild, man. I touched on some of this in my Pikmin 1 review, which now that I think of it, it's more of a Pikmin 1 rant, as I just complained about the enemies in the areas. But anyway.
My name is Captain Olimar. While traveling through space, my ship was struck by a meteor. I must have blacked out, and I woke on the surface of a weird planet. With so many parts lost, the skeletal of my beloved dolphin is a painful sight. The engine is gone. I'm stranded. To make matters worse, my atmospheric sensors indicate this planet's environment contains high levels of poisonous oxygen. My life support systems can function for only 30 days, if I can't repair the dolphin by then. No! Better not to think about it. I must find the missing ship parts.
Anyway, yes, we are here. We're in the game. B button controls the whistle. X button dismisses. The Y button opens up this little handy map here. And A button punches. It's better in the next game, I promise. The SS Dolphin, which is, of course, the code name for the GameCube. The code name was the Dolphin. It's certainly seen better days. It's crashed. It's completely destroyed, for the most part anyway. It's just the skeletal hull remains. This really weird zoomed-in camera angle, I'm not a fan of. It kind of makes me sick, if I'm being honest. Just a little too close to Olimar. I don't know why it's like this, because you can't change the angle before you discover the onion. But anyway, speaking of the onion, let's discover the onion. It's around here somewhere. This is why I don't like the zoomed-in camera angle. I can't see where I'm going. Okay, here it is. Boom! I always love how Olimar gets punked in the face right there. Oh, hello, garbage truck in the background. I hope that's not getting picked up.
A strange thing has appeared before me. I had barely begun my search when it reared up as if it were waiting for me. It then dropped a single seed. What is it? Is it alive? Is it a machine? It resembles a vegetable on my home planet that we call an onion. I shall call this an onion, too.
Okay, now here's the part where I am gonna cheese this a little bit. I think the early game of Pikmin is pretty boring. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I love this game. It holds a very special place in my heart. If you watch my review, you know all about it. You know me discovering the View of Pikmin movie in Luigi's Mansion when I was young. That trailer kind of changed my life. But I am confident in saying the early game, it's a little boring. You know, a lot of waiting. The Pikmin AI is not very good in this game, I'll also admit that. So I am gonna cheese this. I'm gonna cheat here just a little bit to, you know, make my life easier and hopefully make the viewing earlier. I'm just gonna see what I'm gonna do is obviously the game wants you to pluck the seed right now, but amazing thing about this game, if you just wait, and this is a mechanic the game explains later. Olimar stretching. Yeah, I'm kind of tired too. It is early in the morning. This is a mechanic that gets explained later, but the longer Pikmin stay in the ground, the more they mature. Oh, as you can see, I have free camera control now. They start out as leaves, but... Oh, it's a little cutscene. They start out as leaves, but then they soon mature to bud and then to flower. And if the longer they stay in the ground, they just do that naturally.
The seed that the onion dropped took root in the soil and has now produced an adorable little sprout. The sprout emits a strange light and it sways back and forth without benefits of wind. I cannot help but think it is calling to me. I'm compelled. I must approach it and press A.
Yeah, Olimar, I will in a minute. For now, I'm just going to leave this little guy in the ground and wait till he's fully flowered. So I'll see you guys in a bit.
The seed that the onion dropped has turned into an enchanting sprout that gives off a mysterious light. Could there be a reason the onion waited for me to arrive before sowing its seed? Perhaps something will happen if I approach it in the bud and press A. Courage, Olimar!
We have bud! But, this is not what I want right now, so I'm going to keep waiting until I get flower. We have flower, by the way, so now let's finally pluck this guy. He's waited long enough. What an awesome little fella! Look at his little nose.
Extraordinary! When I plucked the sprout, it turned out to be a living creature, not a plant. Picking it has done no visible damage. It just stands there, staring at me. Its shape is so similar to the Pick brand carrots I love so much. I believe I shall call it a Pikmin. Here I am, stranded on a toxic planet, fighting to survive, and yet I am intrigued. I must research this fascinating creature. I shall try to grab it and throw it with A, and I will call it to my side with B. Perhaps it will react to C and X as well.
Don't forget, Olimar canonically has a heads-up display in his helmet.
The following controls appear to me to allow
Yeah, that just tells you how to redo the camera.
I must survive. I need to familiarize myself with these controls and my surroundings.
Anyway, yes, you press the C stick, and you can activate Swarm Mode, in which you have much more direct control over the groups of Pikmin, and they do little dances with you. I also love this little tune, and this is yet another feature that they cut from Pikmin 3 for some reason. Excuse me. The shoulder buttons control the camera. You don't have free cam in this game, which if you start with Pikmin 3 Deluxe, you might be a little bummed out about, considering you do have free cam in that game. Oh, whoa, I've never seen this cutscene before. What the heck's happening? I've never seen this cutscene before.
What does this Pikmin think of me? I must observe its reactions. The more things I try, the more reactions I can catalog. I shall attempt to grab and throw it with A and call to my side with B.
Oh, okay. Probably because I just didn't throw it at anything. I've never seen this cutscene before. This is cool. Anyway, yeah, there's no free cam in this game. And if you started with Pikmin 3 Deluxe, you might be bummed out about that. But hey, check this out. It's my least favorite thing. When you throw them at a pellet and it drops and they kill it, they run back to you. They don't stay and get the pellet, and that's so annoying. And that noise it makes when you land them on the pellet, it makes the clunk. It makes like the thunk noise. You know, as if... Sorry, I had to drink some water right there. As if you're like doing damage to it. That's weird. Like, I know it's just to symbolize that you actually hit it, but still, come on. Well, what the heck is that? That's weird. That's so... Did anyone else just see that? One of the Pikmin seeds, it had like a flower on it already. That's weird.
Astonishing! The onion has sown more seeds. The small red pellet in the Pikmin harvested after cutting down a flower appears to be some type of food that can propagate more Pikmin. The onion seems to be some sort of incubator. Needless to say, I must study this strange life form more.
Yeah, one of these seeds, they popped out. They weren't a leaf, they were a flower already. That's so weird. The Pikmin are huge in this game, by the way. But anyway, yeah, just like our first guy here, I am going to be speeding things up, waiting, and I'll meet you guys later when these guys are all flowers, which is going to be quite the tedious task, but, you know, as long as it's better for the overall viewing for you guys, I can withstand just a little tedium. I mean, hey, I did play all of Fallout 4. Oh, and yes, by the way, you do have infinite time during this tutorial, so I can wait around for these guys to just turn into flowers. I'm not quite sure how much time it actually takes for them to mature all the way to bud to flower stage. I'll put the time up right here. I'll just copy something from the wiki and show you guys. But yeah, that's how much time I'm waiting just for you guys. Even if I can speed things up a bit, it's still pretty tedious to wait. But hey, considering I have infinite time, you won't see me doing this later on in the series, I promise. Okay, I've got more little flower guys, and honestly, even if I wasn't jump cutting and waiting for them to be flowers, would you guys want to see me painstakingly pluck every single Pikmin for this tutorial anyway? I feel like that'd be pretty boring and not very fun to watch. You know, if I'm being honest with you guys. I'm just exploring to make sure there's no other pelts I can miss over here. Hey, this area's just copy-pasted from over there. Ah, the wonders of the GameCube. And we're back. Look at them push that box. You know, I know this is like Earth like a long time later, like many years later, but I've never seen a box with a number 10 on it.
The Pikmin are as curious as children. They form groups to perform tasks that would be impossible for an individual. A glimmer of hope has begun to shine in my heart. If I can make use of their skills, perhaps I can fix my ship. I shall sum up all I've learned of Pikmin conduct. Approach and press A to pick sprouts, and here's a tutorial message.
Also, yeah, you can now access how many Pikmin are following you, how many Pikmin are in the onion, and how many are free. For instance, I now have 14 out of 14, and it says I have 14 following me. It's very simple. Hey, look, it's my engine.
Amazing! There's no mistaking it! My ship's engine rests before my very eyes. By a stroke of pure luck, I have already stumbled upon the most important piece of my damaged craft. Fate has smiled upon me, but how will I get it back to the dolphin?
Well, as you can see, it needs 20 Pikmin, and we don't quite have enough. I miss all the noises the ship parts used to make. Like, I know it would be really stupid of me to say, like, oh, why don't the fruit make noise in Pikmin 3? But I don't know, I just feel like they belonged to their environment in this game, you know? I'm sure you get it. Now, just to clarify, I do think Pikmin 1, as standing up against the other games, is the worst game in the series. I will say that. I think it's better in some regards, like I talk about the atmosphere all the time. But in terms of, like, you know, gameplay, everything else like that, this is definitely the worst game in the series. Which is fine. If your worst game is Pikmin 1, that's fine. You're doing great, dude. It really suffers from first game syndrome. Which again, hey, that's something I covered in my video. And look, hey, now we have 25 Pikmin eager to work for me. Of course, they gotta be sprouted and plucked first. Which of course means I am going to cut away again until I can go get that engine. So I'll see you guys in another bit. Hey, this is way better than me making you watch everything, right?
When many Pikmin seeds sprout at once, I find it rather tedious to pluck them from the ground individually. My wife always told me I was not good at routine tasks. I guess I'll try to get it all done at once by rapidly tapping A until I pick all the Pikmin from the ground.
How many times? Let's get a Pikmin counter going. How many times I have to say that?
I've noticed that when I add Pikmin to my group, they become filled with excitement and flushed with bright color. At other times, they revert to a paler hue and give off a dim glow. Paying close attention to these differences is bound to help me distinguish between Pikmin.
This is a feature that is never brought back again, by the way. Like no captains ever comment on, like, oh, the Pikmin, like, glow and make, and, like, you know, have effects to them, you know what I mean? At least not to my knowledge. I kept that in there because I really like the plucking sounds. Like when the Pikmin come out, they make like different noises that for some reason they just don't make in the later games, and I think it's really cute and adorable. But anyway, look, we've done it! We have our first ship part here. It's the main engine, which, really convenient. Good luck on Olimar, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if I buy into the whole, let's see. Man, I made it such a big deal to break me saying, when I played Earthbound Zero, but now I gotta start breaking my, that. It's just me stuttering because I can't think of what to say. But yeah, I don't know if I buy into the whole Umibozu thing, you know, ship captain curse. And that's why Olimar always has bad luck when he comes to this planet, but, I don't know. It's food for thought. Ain't nothing more satisfying in the world than those sound effects, man.
Oh, glorious! With the help of these Pikmin, I've taken a huge step back towards home. My ship can once again lift off. The glimmer of hope is beginning to burn more brightly. What has become of the remaining parts? That search starts tomorrow.
And with it, here we have completed our very first day of Pikmin. And this always begs the question, because the dome to Captain Olimar's cockpit, you don't get that until much later in the game. So, okay, look at him. I want you to look at Olimar here. Like, yeah, he's in his cockpit, but he doesn't have, like, a shield, you know? He doesn't have anything to protect him from getting sucked out into the vacuum of space. I guess he really holds on tight to the steering wheel there. Always important to have your seatbelt buckled, I guess.
1 day since impact. I've somehow managed to launch the Dolphin, but I was surprised to see the Onion lift off with me. Perhaps the Pikmin cannot survive overnight on the planet's surface, or they have merely decided to join me for other reasons. Either way, it seems they will help me again tomorrow. The Dolphin is missing 29 parts. If I can't recover them all, I may never return home to my family on planet Okotate. Analysis shows life support systems will function for only 29 more days. How can I repair my Dolphin in such a short time? A dense forest is visible on the surface below. As it holds the key to my survival, I shall name it the Forest of Hope. I'll explore it tomorrow.
Here's today's stats, something that you will see at the end of every Pikmin game, for the most part. And with this in mind, and with the glimmer of hope in the waiting forest in the forest, I'll see you guys tomorrow. My name's Waylon, but you knew that already. Thanks for watching this episode of Pikmin. See you guys then.